I think it's your turn.
Welcome to episode 19, almost to number 20 of Auto Off Topic Podcast. I'm Brad.
And I'm your other host, Andrew.
Hello, Andrew.
Hello,
How are you today?
I'm good.
We have some new listeners. Shout out to our new listeners.
We do.
We do. I've got another message today from a listener on my personal Facebook page. He had seen me comment somewhere on something's on a Mitsubishi page somewhere, and he saw my Sapporo in my profile picture, and he's like, "Hey, I have a Sapporo," and he started talking to me. And he was told me today over Messenger that he was binge listening to all our episodes.
Oh, cool.
During work, he was up to number 14. So
nice.
He'll probably hear this sometime this week.
Nice.
So shout out to him.
Oh, it reminds me, I got to catch up with some. You're not going to get this if you're listening to on YouTube. I'm a couple behind. I got to upload the basically archiving episodes on YouTube.
Right.
So you can just listen to them if you use YouTube as a
player,
audio player.
We have to push that too, so we'll actually do it instead of wasting our time.
Yeah, I forgot about it. My bad. I'll do it. So that it's getting warmer now, so we're working on some video content.
It's spring fever.
Yes, because it was really warm a couple days, almost a week ago.
A week ago, yeah.
And then it got super cold. Oh, my voice is back, by the way.
3.5 weeks later.
Yeah. It was super cold Saturday, 10 degrees in the morning, crazy cold. Mm-hmm. And then it's going to be cold again this Saturday. So annoying. And then Stephanie and I visited you at your house Friday night, and just the drive home down I-95.
Right.
The car was covered in salt.
Yeah, they salted the roads again, unfortunately.
A lot.
But it rained today, so they're pretty clear.
Yeah, it rained yesterday and today.
I almost came down in the blue cold today. Almost, but did not.
No, there's still a little bit. I've just been driving the Montero around.
I've just been driving my big dump truck around.
The 89, which is still for sale. I still have it.
It is. Make an offer.
Driving every day, because it hasn't been... Before it was sitting a week, but I'd only drive it on the weekends. I had some stuff changed, so I'm driving it every day, and it's not blowing oil smoke every day when I start it. So it was just from sitting.
Just from sitting.
Yeah, and then I just keep checking in. It's not really using that much oil. It's not any more than I would expect an old vehicle to use.
Yeah, 239,000 miles. Yeah. It's never going to be perfect.
So, but otherwise, it's running really good. And
it is a fun truck to drive around town.
It's fun around town. Yeah, as long as it's not even bad on the highway. It'll keep up with traffic. It just won't get there very fast.
That week that I had it wasn't that bad on the highway. I'm used to driving the brown Colt, so I'm used to slow vehicles.
If you're
used to a slow vehicle, it's totally fine.
And you can keep your momentum, and you can plan that it's going to take you a few to 30 seconds to get to 65, 70. It will comfortably cruise at 65, 70.
You just got to hammer it in the on-ramp and not worry about it.
Without any shimmies or shakes or anything, so it's not bad.
Yeah, no, it cruises at 80.
Although it was super, super windy on Saturday, and I took it after work to pick up some DSM parts. I'll get to in a second. And it was just blowing back and forth, because it's basically a brick. Yeah, it's a cinder block on wheels.
Big square vehicle.
Yeah, it was a little frightening. So I kept it to 65 because it was so windy.
Yeah, I don't think it's a problem though. It's pretty heavy, so it doesn't really.
No.
It's pretty planted. You just feel it swaying in the breeze.
And I got a text yesterday from Josh at Adventure Driven Design.
Yep.
My 99 Montero was picked up by the carrier company.
Sweet.
So it's expected next week at some point.
I'm still upset I couldn't get it for you, but timing just didn't work out, and I'll get the next one.
Yep, it's fine.
I actually officially registered the trailer today, so.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
nice.
There's an actual mass plate on it.
Excellent. That's good.
Legalities.
Because you've done a couple local pickups.
Well, not local. I mean, I was down in Pennsylvania over the weekend.
East Coast.
Yeah, East Coast. Within a few 100 miles, I guess you could say.
Well, I guess we'll do project car updates first, and then we'll get to that.
Sure, absolutely.
So like I said, I drove down. I was in Massachusetts, but I drove down to the South Shore. It was an hour and a half drive.
Yep, almost Rhode Island, probably.
Yeah, a local guy had a good deal on a first-gen DSM rear subframe that had very, very little rust on it. He had already,
more importantly,
he had already installed polyurethane bushings, and it was out of a 93 car, so it had the later 4-bolt.
The stronger rear end.
Yes, that I do not have in my Talon because it's a 90, so it came with a 3-bolt. So
Right.
basically what they mean is on the output shaft flanges, so the CV shafts come out of it.
Yeah, they hold on with 3 or 4 bolts.
Yeah, there's a flange between the wheel bearing and the axle side, and on a 3-bolt it is a 3-bolt flange, and on a 4-bolt it is a 4-bolt flange.
Yes,
So
the description is very, very accurate.
well, sometimes you hear like you might hear like a 4-bolt rear end and think like the diff is pumpkin has 4 bolts or something like
Holding
so,
the cover
So
on.
yeah, so if you don't know
you
DSMs,
talk about like an 8-bolt Chevy rear end.
yeah. So I'm
There's
just
8
trying
bolts
to.
holding the cover on. So yeah,
If you don't know what DSMs, just trying to explain. So that will allow me to. I can basically drop the subframe out of the Talon and swap a new one in because the bushings are pretty well dry rotted out of that car because it's got 150K and
it's time to do them.
almost 30
You're
years
planning on doing them anyway, so
Yes.
buying a better rear end with them already installed was a no-brainer.
Yeah, because the bushings themselves run like 150, plus all the labor of you basically have to burn them out and then press them in. So the fact that somebody
It's a lot
already
of
did this, it was a good deal. I was very happy with it. In fact, it's still in the back of the Montero. We won't do it tonight, but at some point I need a hand. I probably need another person because it's so damn heavy.
Yeah, we can get out
Like
of
me and the guy I bought it from, we kind of like wrestled it in there, but it's real heavy because it's probably over 200 pounds. I mean, it's all steel stuff and
Yeah, big heavy-duty part.
just gonna
I would
wire
like
brush
to
it, clean it up.
Paint it with some
So chassis black stuff.
etching primer and some chassis black.
Yeah, and
POR.
then I've got POR, and then some like the I like that VVT urethane chassis paint works pretty good because it's not going to see
VHT.
weather. Yeah, VHT.
Yeah.
And then I've had it for a long time.
We could clean up the bottom of the car too, actually, underneath where that goes. Make sure there's no surface rust or anything in there.
We'll check. I don't think there's much.
It should be anything that's there, we'll put a stop to.
Yeah, I'll just cover it some POR and
Yep, call it a day.
just undercoat it, some of the rubberized undercoating. But I do have. I've had it for a long time. A white line. It's a 27 millimeter rear sway bar for that car. Adjustable.
Yeah, you might as well put it in then.
Oh, definitely, because it's going to help with any understeering. Because it's like a huge, fat rear sway bar that I've had for a long time. But it's hard to put in because you have to drop. It's on top of the subframe. It runs.
You have to drop the subframe to do it.
Yeah, basically.
So you might as well do it now.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to have it all set up. My dad has that transmission jack we got when we did the transmission in the 89 Montero, so we'll use that to lift it up in there. And
Yep.
so that's coming soon in the spring.
We also used that jack for the Sapporo last year.
Oh, right.
And we're going to have to do it again this year.
Oh, yeah.
And my Camaro this year.
Oh, what's the comparing to clutch?
It's going to be a busy spring. Rear main seal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Might as well put a clutch in it.
I'm not going to do it until I get a clutch and I get the flywheel resurface and everything. I've never had it out of the car, so I mean, I don't know. It could be the original clutch for all I know.
What's it have 6 bolts? I mean,
Yeah, it's not really a lot of work. It's just
it's not that big. What is it? It's a 4. It's a Muncie 4-speed.
yeah, it's a Muncie.
Yeah, so
It's 5 or 6 bolts. It's
can't
not
be that big.
difficult. No, it's not that heavy either.
No.
I'm not really concerned about doing
Cable
the job.
clutch.
Oh yeah, it's a very simple job.
So super simple. Then I also picked up. There's another local DSM guy that had a really good deal on 2 used Corbeau Forza seats.
Corbeau Forzas or Corbeau?
No, they're Forzas, not the FX ones. Those are the one model up.
Okay.
So the Forza's the real basic seat that they have. But they came with DSM bases.
Are they Clubmans or Forzas?
I believe they're Forzas.
Okay. Yeah, they're Forzas. You're right.
Yeah. Just black, the fake Alcantara, sorry.
With vinyl. Like
The wear patches.
Bolsters and stuff.
But I think, like I was saying to you, I think I will loan them to you for the Starion.
Will help the Starion be more fun to drive for both of us.
Yes.
And I'm on Corbeau's website as we speak,
Yeah.
and they do make a set of brackets for the car.
They're probably really cheap, too,
They don't
right?
list the pricing here, but I'm sure they're pretty.
I don't think they're very expensive.
It says brackets starting at. Oh, let's see what letter it is. But yeah, they're pretty inexpensive.
Yeah.
It's
not that bad.
About it.
So, and then I've also got a set of 15-inch S drives that are sort of worn out that you can throw on the 15-inch wheels you have, so you can just burn them off the back.
They're 105 for the brackets. Single locking sliders only.
Well, we already have the sliders. You just need the brackets.
Right, but the sliders come with them. You can't buy just the bracket. Whatever.
Maybe.
No big deal. According to the website, I'm looking at it right now.
All right.
But yeah, that's all stuff we're going to do, and we're looking forward to doing video with that car. We're going to have a little project coming up, I think.
We've written some scripts, so we're going to try to do a video series on it.
Yeah, putting it back together, the welding, the maintenance, the exhaust, the interior being put back together.
Or barely put back together.
Put back together enough.
Yeah.
May or may not put all the seats back in it.
No.
May or may not put the carpets back in it. Well, we put the front carpet in it.
Yeah.
But we're just going to make it enjoyable to drive and just kind of hammer on and do it.
The interior is pretty nice. Like, I would save the interior for a fried-out Southern car.
Yeah, which I was talking to somebody the other day who has a line and a couple more. So
Yes, I think I saw that.
Yeah. I'm always trying to wheel and deal for dry Southern Starions.
Yeah.
Even when I shouldn't be.
No.
Oh, actually, I was wheeling and dealing with a guy the other day for another 1980 Colt had like 36,000 miles on it, 37,000 miles on it, but he lost the title.
Yeah.
And I had him down at $250.
$250.
Like $250 for the car because I was going to take the driveline out and put it in my brown car because the car had no title and I need some other parts for it. But he came with some seller's remorse and he's like, I want to do right by the car and fix it myself. So
Okay.
I'm not mad at the guy.
Fair enough.
Whatever, it is what it is. It saves me a trip to Kentucky.
You're dedicated enough for a Colt, then yes.
It means there's more than one of me out there.
Yes.
So, anyway. So we have seats for the Starion, tires for the Starion, rear carrier and diff for the Talon.
Yep.
I would like to do some research and see if your old diff, the LSD in that, would work in the Colt in some way. Probably not.
The guts.
Yeah, maybe. Probably not.
I'm not sure. Might have to look into it, but I have a couple extra
center sections
of 3 bolts. Yeah.
Which would be fine for that car.
Mm-hmm. No, totally fine.
It probably isn't even a thing, and I'm probably going to be laughed at by other Mitsubishi people listening right now. But my wheels in my head were just spinning thinking about it, and I was like, nah, it's probably completely different.
I don't think you can even a first-gen Montero diff is probably way too big for it with LSD.
It's too wide.
Yeah, it's too wide.
But any diff with the car was going to have to be cut and welded.
Because it's basically like a first-gen Montero diff is kind of like a Ford 9-inch or something.
Yeah, simple style.
It's just big.
It's not a 4.9. It's just the same style as a 4.9.
It's similar, though.
Yeah.
And it has an LSD already in it.
Again, I'll do some research and see what center sections work with what, because if I can keep the stock housings, it would just make life easier.
Well,
to build brackets.
It's independent, so it's not going to be the stock housings.
No, if I can put the center section in my stock solid axle housing.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
Probably can't do it.
No. Maybe.
Who knows?
It's just a carrier assembly.
The Frankenstein in my head is just going off.
It's just a carrier assembly, and I mean, inside of the pumpkin, it just rides on bearings.
That's what I mean, yeah.
So if it sits and rides on bearings inside of the other axle, it might work.
Yeah, we can try to look into it.
The difficulty is just making sure it's shimmed right. So
because I don't, a lot of the Colt guys, they do like a Toyota pickup truck or whatever they can find in the junkyard and just weld new tabs on it and make it fit. But which isn't difficult, I guess. It's just, I don't know. Yeah. I'll figure out something. The car needs limited slip. Like it needs some kind of a locker in the rear, just because it's even with the 11 horsepower that it has.
Weld it.
I kind of want to, but then I remember back to the orange Arrow.
Oh yeah, it just kept breaking
and
axles.
Kept breaking axles on it because the axles weren't strong enough.
But didn't a Fire Arrow, as rare as they are at those LSDs?
If you can find a Fire Arrow rear end, it's a bolt-in part.
But they're super
rare. They just
rare.
don't exist. Yeah. I mean, they exist. They just don't exist around here, or even that much in the West Coast anymore. But I don't know. I'll figure out something eventually.
But speaking of lightweight rear-wheel drive cars,
yes,
what'd you do this week?
I went with a friend of the podcast, Al, and we picked up second to him, European Ford Escort. He has a Mark II already, and we went and we picked up a Mark 1 RS 2000. Pretty amazing car. It's about same size as the Colt, the 78 Colt, maybe a touch smaller. It's not plated or registered, so I didn't drive it far, but I drove it around the parking lot at the Outback Steakhouse next to the car wash where we were renting it off. It's a pretty open parking lot right there because it was 10 in the morning and nobody was there. It's quick. It's very quick. It's a stock rebuilt motor, but has a different exhaust and it has a different cam. So it's got a little hotter of a cam in it.
I'm trying to remember back from reading like retro car, like what engine was in those?
It's a 2-liter Ford Pinto motor.
Yeah.
So it's the same motor we got in the Pintos over here, but they were just in a much more capable
Which is what
shell.
went into like Formula Fords and stuff.
A lot of them had the Pinto motors in them, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's guys out there doing 225, 240 horse naturally aspirated Pinto motors now.
Oh yeah, they've been around for so long.
Pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, this car here, factory was about 115.
The dual carb?
It's a single carb car.
Single carb.
Yep, single carb. Factory, I think it was like 115-ish or something like that. I'm probably wrong on the exact number. And it's a fresh rebuild, and it has, like I said, kind of a hotter cam and a freer flowing exhaust. That's probably somewhere right around there. It's a quick little car. It weighs about 2,000 pounds.
Yeah, it's probably plenty for that car.
It moves right along, and it's got a nice, solid pedal feel on the brakes, and the car feels tight. It doesn't feel like any other small 70s car I've ever driven.
No.
This particular one is not a true RS 2000.
Yep.
It's a 71 that predates the RS 2000, but it is the same kind of shell, a Type 48 or Type 49, made in Avro, Germany.
Yep.
So it has all of the extra bracing that a RS 2000 would have. It's got plates around the front strut towers and in the radiator support, and it's got a couple of triangulated braces where the subframe meets the firewall, and somebody had a true RS 2000, and it was beyond repair for whether it was rusted or wrecked or whatever, and every part for the car came out and was put in this GT shell. So it's a 1300 GT, and it has the full RS 2000 swap in it.
RS swap.
Yeah.
And it's and it's left-hand drive.
It's left-hand drive because it came out of Holland.
Yeah.
So it's not a right-hand drive car.
Yeah.
Which, to me, I don't really care, but I guess a lot of people here in a left-hand drive country, as we talked about last week, would really want a left-hand drive car. So it's a sweet car, and I feel privileged for having been able to go pick it up, and B, having gotten a chance to drive it, because it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, we'll try to do. I'm sure Al would be okay with us doing some video stuff with that.
Oh yeah, he's not even okay with it. He wants to do it.
Okay,
so
great.
We'll
work on that when it gets warmer.
And we'll work on some extra sound equipment for those, because both those cars sound ridiculous.
This recorder will do a pretty good job.
They sound really good car. Like when he first started the car up, it was absolutely amazing. And I'll give a quick plug to the guys that helped us out with it down at Orchard Euro in Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
They have guys in England and they have guys over here, and they're pretty good at importing cars and parts. I don't want to call him competition. We'll call him friends. He's a really good guy, and he's heavy into Volkswagens.
Yep.
He has tons and tons and tons of. If you're looking for weird, rare Euro Volkswagen stuff, Orchard Euro out of PA is the guy to talk to. His warehouse was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, what wheels were on the Escort? Were those the
RS alloys, the 4-spokes.
Oh, they look just like the what's the name? It's a
I don't know where you're going.
It's a British wheel company. It's not
Revolutions.
Revolutions.
Yeah, they're similar style, but it's a 4-spoke forward wheel.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually off of a Capri, so it's a deeper dish than
okay.
They make the same size for the Escorts, but they're a narrower wheel with a shallower dish, and the ones from the Capris have a deeper dish for a bigger car.
Oh, cool.
So it has the deeper dish Capri style.
Now it doesn't have those big like bubble flares, right?
Nope. No, it has the rear quarters on the GT shells and the RS shells are rolled from the factory to fit the bigger, wider tires, and when it goes into full cornering, it doesn't rub in the quarter panel. And they have a very small arch in the front. The fenders are just a touch wider than a standard shell. If you didn't know you were looking at a flare, you wouldn't realize it. and you park it side by side with a standard Escort Mark 1,
will never
you'll see
happen
it's
here.
a little bit wider. Yeah, exactly. But it's a little bit wider. Any car you see with the big over fenders was modified after the fact.
Oh, okay.
None of them came with those in the factory. The Mark 1s. Mark 2 did a square box flare. They call it the X-Pack arch, but totally different.
Cool.
Totally different setup. So it's an amazing car. He's adding a couple of oversized fog lights to the front of it, just like his Mark II already. So those are going on probably as we speak, and the car will be out and about this spring. I can't wait to drive it some more and drive it in the street and drive it with the Mark II and just kind of. I have these visions of like, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, just like the movie where they're just screwing around in back alleys of England, just doing drifts and donuts and not smashing into the car in front of them.
No,
but everything but that part. So I'm very much looking forward to it.
Anything else?
I helped another friend move his Corvette around today. That's about it.
The Z06.
Yeah, the Z06 you talked about before.
Would you learn that Corvette is very
future
wide.
reference. Future reference, yes.
For using your trailer for a Corvette.
Yeah, you can't
get
out.
It does fit, but you can't get out.
Right, you had to climb out through the window.
Yeah.
So thankfully, Joey, who owns the car, is
svelte.
He is svelte and spry, and he managed to do it because I had been stuck in there forever. I'd been trying to drive it from the back. I don't know how I get out of there.
Yeah.
I would have ruined everything in the car trying to get out of it. Because it's the 06 too, so it's a hardtop car, so you can't take the top off and do it. So it's just he had to climb through the window. So he took his shoes off and slipped through and made it happen.
He had the entire nose covered in clear bra.
He did, yeah. It looks really nice actually. You can't even see it
because the entire thing's done. It's
only like halfway up the fenders and stuff. It's a normal size.
Oh, I thought it was still the panel gaps.
No, he didn't do it that far.
Okay.
No, it looks really good. Whatever the new product is, I'll have to find out. It's pretty nice.
I told him at minimum they have to use 3M stuff because anything else will turn yellow.
It's a new brand.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't even think it's 3M. I don't know who it is. It's a self-healing one.
Oh, okay.
And if it gets little rock chips in it, you put some hot water on it, or you put a hairdryer to it, and it kind of heals itself. Yeah. One of the guys that was another customer that was there, I was talking to after we finished loading it up, and he just had his Audi done. He had a bunch of other cars done, and he was talking about how he put the hot water on it. He got a scratch on it. He put the hot water on it, and it was gone. Couldn't see it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I basically told him when he was asking me about it, because I did have it on my Evo. It's sacrificial stuff. If you were doing a lot of driving, if you had to do a lot of highway driving, you'd replace it every couple of years.
Well, especially on C5.
On his car, it will probably last the entire life of the car because
100%.
He's very careful with it. So,
well, and especially on the C5 where the fender wraps around inside the wheel well.
Yes,
there's a whole lot of painted area that will just get destroyed along highway
drives.
In
fact, on the box flare Montero that I bought from the factory, there is clear as where the fenders roll in.
Mitsubishi's been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
The wide body Stenarians in the 80s, they had a big clear patch at the bottom of the quarter panels.
They did not do it from the factory on my Evo though.
That's right.
Where the rear doors bulged out, I had to buy. They came up with a kit after the car
to go over the door.
Yes, because people were complaining about it being rock chipped up. So I bought it when I bought the car when it was pretty new, and I put it on because it kept down the rock chips.
Yep, yeah, that makes sense. This thing sticks out so far in the front of the car.
Yep.
That you're gonna have an issue there.
And then I had the front of it done, and it actually got hit by a rock, but it didn't go through it. It left a mark, but it was just like the 3M stuff. And the only time it turns yellow is I worked in an Infiniti dealer, and people would put it on their, they get in the F&I office, and they have it put on their I-30.
Mm-hmm. And they never wash
and it's like a white I-30, and they never, ever take care of it, and it turns yellow. So you have this yellow nose cone on your white I-30 with your gold trim that you had done, and your Italian flag pinstriping.
Hey, come on now! Watch the racial or.
I saw some ugly pinstripes there. They had guys that would hand pinstripe stuff. He's like, yeah, I've done some real ugly ones. He's like, I've done purple on a green car just because the customer wanted it, and he's like, I did the Italian colored flag one. It's just, so weird.
Gross.
But anything else?
I got nothing else. No scale project cars. I haven't touched anything.
No, I think we'll do a few. We have a few listener questions this week. Not a lot, but a few. We appreciate you listening and
with the
interacting with us.
Facebook page.
Yeah, we'll start with your Facebook page because we share it out on each one.
That's the one I didn't load up yet. So why don't you start with the actual page?
Okay.
Question number 1. What is it?
Sorry, I don't have it.
Dead air. Question number 1. Frank Eck. Overlanding. Turning into the latest hipster thing?
I mean, it used to be called car camping, right?
Anytime you give something a name, it becomes a hipster thing, I guess. I mean, if you look at the actual overlanding culture that's out there, and you go to some of these events and things that they have, there's absolutely a hipster element to it.
Maybe. I'd say it's just like any hobby where you will get people that want to spend as much money as they possibly can on it. Just
I spent more money on this, so I win people.
not necessarily there.
Yeah, I think that's how they think, though.
Maybe
I
there's
spent more, I win.
there are people that are, even like photography stuff. You don't need really expensive gear to take excellent photos.
Right.
But there are people that are just into buying photography gear because they can,
Mhm.
and they will just spend tons and
Thousands
tons and tons of money.
And it's definitely the same with anything. You're right. But I think in overlanding, we see it a lot more when you have an event like we were talking about. I'm not going to name drop any stores or anything. I don't want to throw anybody under the bus. But there was a store in New Hampshire that hosted a big overlanding event. And that store considers themselves a lifestyle store, and they sell like $100 pair of jeans.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? They sell the MREs to go camping with. Like, you don't need the ready-to-eat meals to go camping. And you just need some sandwich meat or some steak dips.
Well, like I said, like there's so much like overlanding content on the internet, and so much of it is about like gear reviews and all this stuff. It's like you don't need that much. You literally just need a vehicle that you're willing to go out into the wilderness with.
It's reliable enough.
Yeah, exactly, and has some good tires on it. It doesn't need to be like
doesn't need to be 4-wheel drive.
No, it doesn't need to be super lifted. Doesn't need to be like
no. Unless you're doing some crazy trails.
If you want, that's fine. That's your prerogative.
Which isn't overlanding, really. That's more of the off-roading and the rock crawling. It's a whole different set of things. I think that overlanding, it definitely has a hipster element to it, but so does anything now that gets popular on the internet. And I am not going to be the one to say it, maybe, but I don't think a hipster element is really bad about things. We're kind of automotive hipsters here.
Yeah.
We like the unloved cars. We both wear plastic frame glasses. I generally have a beard. Andrew often has a beard.
I've had
we drink
thick frame glasses for like 15 years.
We drink craft beers.
Very hipster.
I'm wearing a flannel shirt as we speak.
But basically...
although Andrew's wearing an Izod shirt, which is definitely goes
fancy.
on the preppy side of things.
I don't have my collar pop, though.
He does not.
No, it's not pink. It's gray.
It's okay.
So
I think there's definitely an element of it that is that, but at the same time, I think I kind of fit into that element a little bit.
Well, I believe
the spending money part, because I have a Target flannel shirt, not a $100 fancy flannel shirt.
Well, like Land Rover it's vehicle-based adventure,
and they market it as almost a hipster element kind of thing. They market to a higher end crowd.
Yes, but what I mean is like that is what overlanding is vehicle-based adventure.
Yeah, doing something in your car that's not driving it to work or the store.
Yes.
A reason to go somewhere.
Four-wheeling, rock crawling, totally different. Like, overlanding is you're going for a destination. Four-wheeling, rock crawling, you probably just go out, run some trails, and then go home.
Yes.
Typically.
Not necessarily a destination, but just the journey is the trip, and the trip is the journey, and you just stop on the trail somewhere and camp.
Do you need the built-in refrigerator in your vehicle that you add? No. A Coleman cooler from Walmart.
Although our overlanding partner does have a $600 Yeti cooler. So
it's pretty sweet.
It is pretty sweet. I will say that.
It's a Yeti cooler, if you have the means, is worth it.
I highly suggest getting one.
Yes. I didn't believe it until we actually used it for a week.
It was day 5, and the original ice was still in.
Yeah, it would refreeze things.
Yeah, it was weird.
So, yeah, but can you just go out with a Walmart cooler and some sleeping bags?
Absolutely.
Then yes, absolutely. Just go out and see the world.
It's funny because now that I'm in this world of things, and I'm seeking out new things and new adventure and things, and now I'm looking for like a rooftop tent, and I'm looking for a fancy cooler, and I'm looking
Well,
for I want all the stuff, but I know I don't need it.
once you figure out what you want and will make it more comfortable for you, then it's worth doing it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So,
So is it hipster-esque? Yes. Is that a bad thing? Depends on what element of hipster you are talking about.
mm-hmm.
I don't think so. Noah Zimmerman says, interview either original JDM guy and Danny Dyer. I don't know who original JDM guy is, other than he has a Facebook page.
It's kind of interesting. Like, he just reposts
old vintage photography of Japanese stuff.
Yeah.
Danny Dyer, I do know who he is.
I don't.
And he's a pretty amazing guy. He's a Starion racer.
Oh, okay.
He would be actually very cool to get in the show. I've never actually reached out or talked to Danny Dyer. I'm assuming that Noah Zimmerman has. So maybe he can make that connection. I don't know who Danny Dyer is. I think he's in France or Europe or he's somewhere.
Yeah, we're due for a guest. We'll work
England,
on that.
Maybe.
We've been a little busy.
We have been. Life has gotten in the way, as it always does. But no, I would definitely like to get Danny Dyer on here. I know he's I don't know if he was a factory-backed driver at one point. I don't know. He's got a lot of cool stuff. That's all I know. Lots of cool race car flat-side Mitsus.
Cool.
So, next question is from Jeremy Nutt. Always good for a question.
Yep.
We like that, Jeremy. Thank you very much. Keep them going. Says, you have both worked in the dealership life at some point. If you were to open your own car dealership for a major automotive brand, what are the biggest changes you would implement to bring it up to 2017 standards? Biggest changes to the dealership? To bring it up, I don't know. See, I think I would bring it back in time, not up in time.
Yeah?
Just have a old school, waiting room, nothing fancy. I don't know. I think that there's too much emphasis now on the customer experience versus just go drop your car off, sit in a waiting room, and get it fixed.
Yeah, probably.
I think that there's more, maybe make it more personal than, I don't know if you've ever, I went and dropped off, when your father wasn't driving after his surgery, I went and I dropped off the Subaru with him, and we were sitting in the waiting area. And it just wasn't very personal. Nobody talked to you. They just tell you where to sit and wait. You sit in a movie theater style chair. It kind of feels like a factory for people to go through.
Yeah,
they get free food and stuff like that, but I don't know.
A lot of them have Wi-Fi and places to work while you're waiting.
I guess people don't want that anymore either. So maybe I'm just being old man, but I kind of think I would have it more. And this comes back in my own working experience. I've worked in a lot of dealerships. And two of the dealerships I worked at were the now defunct PVD Chrysler Plymouth dealer and Jeep dealer, and the Ipswich Ford dealer, both of which are very set in their ways, old school dealerships.
Yeah.
And they treated people nicer there. And that's just kind of how I had a better experience there than anywhere else. They treated every customer as a person, not just a volume number.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what I would do differently, and I would try to bring some kind of passion into the employees, and not just make them employees of a dealership with a bottom line. Try to make them more into the vehicles that are there, because that's one thing I notice is absent from most car dealership worlds is nobody there gives a crap about a car. Mm-hmm. It's just a paycheck. Mm-hmm. And that to me, especially when I was younger and just getting into the business, was pretty depressing. I was like, all right, I'm going to work on cars. I'm going to talk about cars all day and talk with car people all day. And then it was like, cars suck. I can't wait to get out of here and go home and drink beer and watch TV. Mm. Yeah, but we're here working on cars. Let's talk about them. I don't care about cars. Give me an oil filter. Mm. So I don't like that. I think there's got to be some kind of way to bring some kind of passion back to the people, whether it be a project car in the shop that's kind of a shared project car with everybody, or something simple like a drag race team or an autocross team or a track night team or something. Just something, little extra incentive for the people that work there to be into the cars, into the products.
Well, I'm back at a dealership, and I was surprised. It's only been a week, but a lot of the employees are actually into cars.
Oh, there you go.
I was watching them today. The techs cut off a little bit earlier than we do in parts. So I was sitting there at the parts window and I was watching two techs detail their cars in their bay.
Okay.
And another one pulled in. He had like an '89 third gen Camaro.
Sweet.
That was kind of like I don't know, pro streeted. Had like moon discs on it.
It's cool.
He's probably in his 20s, real young. So
That's cool.
no one had a lifted truck. So
All right. Well, I
was surprised.
I remain surprised, but
I was.
I
Surprised.
used to get made fun of for bringing my car in to detail it. They're like, "Why are you cleaning that thing so much?"
No, a lot of these guys are into their cars. So
All right. Well, that's good.
I was
Maybe it's
like-
a
I was
difference
like,
of
that's
it being
cool.
an Audi
Yeah.
dealer versus a lower end car dealer. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, pull up your spot. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's not the norm. And if that was the norm,
I wasn't expecting it.
I would I would be much happier working in a dealership if that was the norm. I think.
Yeah. But
All right.
so
Next
that was kinda
questions. We'll go to my page or your
yes.
page.
Go to your page.
All right. Questions. Here they are. Noah Zimmerman says, "What do you think of Formula E? Have you seen a Formula E race?"
I've never watched it.
I've watched one Formula E race. I think it's interesting. I think that it has its place. I don't think that it's ready to be mainstream. Just because, I don't know, it's quiet and weird. And I'm just a grumpy old man that wants a gas engine. But it was cool. It was different. It's cool to see the forward thinking. It's cool to see some performance stuff in the electric car world.
Aren't they running like in New Jersey or something?
I have no idea where the closest race is going to be. But I did enjoy it as something that was different. To me, a lot of the racing is the engines and all that noise and ridiculousness. But I understand that I'm a minority when it comes to not wanting to use fossil fuels or keep using fossil fuels. So I understand where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's interesting. I just I don't think it's 100% ready to go full mainstream yet, just because it's a shocking departure seeing these like electric go-karts going around the track. So that's my opinion. You don't have one because you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I think they're gonna run in like New Jersey or the Brooklyn area or something, or with maybe I don't know. I have to look into it.
Like a street race?
Yeah,
That's weird.
I'm not sure. You know who to listen to is the DFL show for
Yeah, they'll
motorsport
tell you
stuff.
all about it.
Yes,
DFL for dead fucking last.
yes. Listen to that podcast for motorsport stuff.
Yes, they're way more into than we are. We are what I would consider casual race fans.
Yep.
With an emphasis on rally car stuff.
Yes.
Jason Ward says, next Japanese classic to jump in price.
I think we covered this a little while ago, and I think my answer was first gen RX-7s
And that was kind of my standard answer.
because they swing wildly from very inexpensive right now to very expensive.
Yep. First gen RX-7s, second gen turbocharged MR2s. Also, Celicas
Yes.
are on the upswing. First gen Celicas are on a big upswing.
TA27s, is that what they are?
TA22, TA27, there's a few different, depending on the chassis, depending on the bumpers and the trunk, or that's an RX3, Andrew, on a Celica. Those are already way up in value. Depending on whether the trunk car or fastback car, they have different designations for them. But yeah, first gen Celicas are on the way up. RX-7s are on the way up. Turbo MR2s are on the way up. Supercharged MR2s remain cheap. I mean, they're not like free, but they're still sub $5,000 for a decent car.
And I think we covered early Super Celicas are not.
Early Supers are not worth a dime.
Weird.
Yeah, they're just not. They're not a performance car. They're just kind of a.
They're a good looking car, though.
The first generation is very polarizing.
Yeah.
I like them. Most people don't. The second gen cars are very pretty. They're just not worth a ton. Some super, super low mile ones, I've gone for a couple of dollars more, but nothing's blown me out of the water.
Third gens are head gasket issues.
Head gasket issues are not worth very much. They're also pretty cars.
Yeah.
They're just not worth anything. I still like them. Magellan has a quick follow-up to that question and says, maybe a quick around the world with the next 5 to
Well, we're
jump?
just covering that, so.
Well, it's around the world. So he's saying get out of the Japanese world.
Oh.
So if that's the case, that's a real quick, easy. I won't even do 5. I'll just do the ones that I always talk about. I just had probably an hour-long discussion about this driving back from Pennsylvania with Al yesterday.
Yeah.
Any water-cooled Porsche 924,
Oh,
944, 944 turbo. They're going to be out of control very quickly. RX-7s, obviously.
Yep.
Third-gen Camaros and Firebirds.
Think so.
100%. Clean ones. Not standard base models, not even early Z28s, but the later IROCs, the anniversary cars, the turbo Trans Ams are already way up there.
Okay.
Clean GTAs are going to be worth something. Clean Formulas are going to be worth something.
Okay. Well, within that genre, manual transmission Fox bodies.
100%. Those have already gone up a little bit, I
Yes.
think. More so than the Camaros and Firebirds.
Yes.
But they are still affordable. So those are going to be up pretty quick.
But they're approaching, like, 5 or 6 for a good car.
A real clean car is already $10,000.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
So like I said,
A good driver is
a
5
good
to 6
driver is 5 to 6. A super clean car is 10
plus, depending on how many miles are on it.
Yeah.
And the GTs are worth less than the LXs now.
Yeah, GTs just didn't.
The style hasn't
For some reason, the LX just aged.
It's cleaner. It aged much nicer.
Aged much nicer, yes.
Especially louvered taillights.
Yeah, I like a fastback.
Okay. See, I prefer a coupe.
A notch.
Yep, notchback.
But
those are probably the next few cars to jump up.
And yeah, I mean, you're getting the 80s and 90s stuff now because that's our generation. And
anything we wanted when we could.
We're getting older and we have money now to spend.
Unfortunately, nothing I own is going up in value.
E30s.
E30s are already going through the roof.
Yep.
I mean, even a clean 4-cylinder, a 318 is they used to be free.
Yep.
Now they're $5,000-6,000, so they're going up, no question at all. Anything German in general is just kind of strange.
I think what else. Any early Audis?
The Coupe Quattros are out of control.
Well, those have been out of control for a lot of years, but
everything else is kind of staying stagnant. The early S cars, like the first S4s and S6s, if you can find a clean one.
Like a B5?
A 4 B5.
The B4?
The B4 with the 5.
Yeah.
I don't
like a 2000 is one of that.
No, that's a B5. So we're talking like 95. 95, 96, the big square ones.
Like a URS Quattro?
Yeah, the URS4.
Okay.
That's the S4. It's the 100 chassis.
Yeah.
I'm not good with Audi chassis codes, but that's something like that. But the first generation
big body cars?
The big cars, yeah. The first generation S4s and S6s. Our clean ones are starting to go up.
E39s.
Oh, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. Especially 540s.
Yep.
Especially
because
540s.
The mid-80s 5 Series, what is that, E28?
E28s.
Those have already gone up.
Not a ton. The M5s are
the
out of control.
Is you can't touch an M.
Any M car is out of control. Yep. But a regular E28, if you go with a 320, a 525i.
E36 M3s.
Those are going to go very soon. Clean ones are already over $10,000.
Yep.
So those are going to be through the roof.
And then E46s are already up there because they're.
Those are too new for me to even look at. I don't even know.
Yeah.
They're pretty. They're too new. I don't know anything about them.
They're a nice car.
I'm sure they are. I just don't know anything about them. Another weird sleeper car, not sleeper in the means that it's fast, but sleeper in the way that they're going up in value, is early 80s like Cadillacs. The last of the big rear-wheel drive, full-frame, two-door Cadillacs.
I know. I saw that one you posted a link to. It was a couple places. It's on eBay right now. It's got a
the one with the
fourth gen Camaro, fourth gen Corvette swap.
Well, it's not really a Corvette swap. It's an LT1, but they just say Corvette swap because Corvettes had LT1s.
Yeah,
could be a Caprice swap for all you know. But that body style car, yeah, it's that big body. The last of the huge Cadillacs.
Mm-hmm.
Those have gone up a bit. I mean, those used to be like the car you could see people down on their luck driving, and now they've turned around into being cool again. And which kind of ticks me off because when I was 19, my father offered to trade me my mom's old blue Caddy for my Cutlass. And I was like, no, I don't want a Caddy. That's a big old man car. But now I kind of want it.
Blew the doors off your Cutlass, though.
I know, but now I kind of want it. So that's next question is Brad Anderson says, the glory that is the R26B, talking about any of the 767, 787B early 90s stuff. To which I said, that's not a question. And he said, will you talk about it? That's a question. No, I don't know anything about it. Do you know anything about it? I know it sounds amazing.
About the actual race car?
Yeah.
Not really.
It sounds amazing.
I mean, I know there's a model kit sitting over here on the shelf.
Yes, there is. Yeah, of the Mazda liveried one.
Yeah.
Not the renowned orange and green car, charge car.
Still the only Japanese car to win Le Mans.
Yep.
20 plus years on.
Toyota almost did it.
Yep.
To the last lap. But,
Yep.
So we'll talk about it that way. It's a cool car. It won Le Mans. We like it. It's an iconic paint scheme when it has the charge renowned livery on it. But that's it. Sorry, Brad. New question next time.
They're not, I don't know. They're interesting cars. I'd like to own a rotary at some point.
Yeah, they're very fun cars to drive. The very linear power band is cool.
Like we were saying, first gens.
Yep, they're going up.
I should try to get a first gen.
Now's the time. And not an early first gen, a late first gen, like an FB versus an SA.
Yes.
As far as value goes, I like the styling of the SA a little better because it's an older style, and I prefer the older style. But I think value-wise, the FBs, which are the 82, 83, 84, 85s.
And believe it or not, that is a car that in New England is actually easy to find nice ones.
Yeah,
for
they're
whatever
common.
reason, they're very common.
Well, they were parked for the wintertime.
And they were parked for the wintertime.
Yeah.
Yes, they're 3-season cars. So sometimes you get lucky in this climate with sports cars because if they were
stored
a
for the winter.
3-season car, they got stored for the winter.
Driven all year and abused.
Yep.
Joe Osborne says, can I drive the RS? Not my call, but I'm sure if you talk Al's ear off for a while and get in his good graces, you can get behind the wheel. Yeah. Or at least in the passenger seat.
Yeah. That's probably more likely, but
yeah. Matt Sullivan, how to spot the markers of a good mechanic? That's a good question, actually. How do you spot a good mechanic? Is it cleanliness? Is it neatness? I don't think so.
no.
Some good mechanics are very messy.
It's like it's not necessarily like a ton of tools.
It's the right tools.
It's using the right tool for the job.
Yep.
If you have it available, I mean, if you're like in the middle of nowhere and you have no tools, then
Well, that's not a mechanic. That's a working with what you got. It's different.
Yeah, bush mechanic would be.
I think we're talking, working in a shop, differentiating the guy you want to build your engine from the guy you want to change your oil.
If they throw parts at something instead of diagnose it, that's not a good mechanic.
You wouldn't know that walking into the dealership, but knowing them after you've been there for a while, you would know that for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, just guessing what's wrong with the car is never
Somebody who can diagnose something.
That is the main mark of a good mechanic.
Yes.
100%.
Because anybody can turn bolts and replace a part.
You think that.
Yeah. Majority of the time.
Yeah. Some people can't. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. But what about this?
Yeah.
Lefty loosey, righty tighty. I think that's a good point. Somebody who is a good diagnostic person is usually going to be a good mechanic, or at least somebody who you would trust because they'll save you money by not making you replace stuff that's not broken.
Yes.
So that's probably the maker.
Yes.
The
We're
marker
telling
of a
you,
mechanic.
triage any issues with your car.
Correct.
Like, these can go a little longer. You need to fix this right now. Stuff like that.
Last question on my page comes from your mother. Your mom.
Yes. She does listen to my podcast.
She does. Hi, Sandy.
And we're recording this on National Women's Day.
It is National Women's Day, so happy National Women's Day, Sandy.
Yes.
And my mom, Marilee.
Yes.
And your fiancée, Stephanie. And my wife, Deb.
Yes.
All right, we covered everybody. All right, she says, I'd like to see or hear from a woman car enthusiast and hear how or why she became interested in cars.
So that is a good suggestion, and we will add it.
We will add that to our future guest list.
Yes.
I don't know very many.
I know a couple.
I do know a couple. I'm not saying I don't know any. I know a couple. I have a friend Sue who loves Volkswagens, so she might be interested to talk to for a while.
I know Erica Dakota, who was
the rally.
Yes,
yeah,
she was a 2-wheel drive rally champion.
Yeah, that's true.
So
there are a couple out there. There are a couple, and we do know them, and we'll definitely add them to our list of potential guests in the future. So Sandy is an excellent suggestion that definitely helps the show.
I didn't have any questions on my page.
You know what it is? You reposted you shared the auto off topic link.
Yeah.
So it gets
buried by
Facebook's logarithms.
Probably.
I just took the picture and added the picture without mentioning auto off topic. That was a little experiment I did to see if it got more attention that way.
See, I was trying to because sometimes the other way it used to work is if you if your page had shares, it would push it to the top because
I
people
don't
are
think
interested
it
in
works that way anymore.
it. Used to.
I think because now that Facebook has the pay to play,
Yeah.
they want us to pay to promote it. So I just kind of went around the.
I did try to put it on Instagram. It got some likes. Nobody commented, though.
All right.
That's okay.
No, it's not okay.
No.
I'm going to come out and say it.
Okay.
Joey says that we are mean and opinionated, and nobody should listen to us anyway.
Okay.
So I'm gonna stick by the stereotype, and I'm gonna go with it. All right.
All right.
If you see somebody asking for a question on a page and you like the picture but don't ask the question, you're a scoundrel.
Okay.
Okay. That is what I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything else.
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes
You're not a nice person.
Man, because sometimes there's other podcasts I listen to. Sometimes I don't have a good question for them that week. I just like it. I just like their posts because just to support them. Like I did read it, but I can't always come up with a good question every week.
Just come up with a bad question then. I'd rather a bad question than no question.
I guess. Okay.
What do I know?
Fair
I
enough.
don't know anything. All right.
So,
So a good round of questions.
I think we're going to call this one.
Okay. No other topics to go on?
I don't have anything else.
No, it's kind of a weird week. I spent a lot of time just driving to Pennsylvania and back.
Yep.
And
other than please like, share, and review this.
Please.
On iTunes. Share it with a friend. We've had several people share it across Facebook, different groups. We appreciate that.
100%.
Yep.
We know you know who we're talking about.
Yes, it helps out a lot as we try to grow this, and hopefully give you some more free content to enjoy.
Yes.
We like talking about the obscure cars. If somebody wants to give us a new car to drive around and give our humble opinions or asshole opinions on,
yes,
that's fine. We will do that for you too. Other than that, we're going to continue to play with old crummy cars.
We are, and we're going to give you even now more with videos and photos and blog posts.
Yes, I promise that.
So there's a lot of stuff coming as soon as the weather breaks.
Yes,
because it broke again today. It's like 50 today, but it's going to snow Friday. So
and be 10 degrees on Saturday.
Wonderful.
They'll probably salt again.
All right, social media. Auto Off Topic Podcast on Facebook.
Yes.
Auto Off Topic on Instagram.
Yes. Race and Anger for my personal page on Instagram. I am like 80 people away from 1,000, which is kind of cool.
Wow. Maybe you should pop that color.
Yeah.
fancy boy.
So fancy. Yes.
And then Vintage Imports of New England.
Yes.
On Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
Vintage Imports NE is the link. We are offering transportation services now. So
yeah, you're ready to go anywhere.
I am ready to go anywhere for the right price.
Lower 48, anywhere.
And as long as the car is not too big, because I have an enclosed trailer.
That's true.
So
but it is
SUV.
enclosed trailering.
Yes, it's enclosed, and my prices are very, very competitive.
Yes.
But I'm enclosed versus open. So if you have something special, let me know. I'll take care of you very well.
It will fit most things, I think.
It'll fit a small SUV. It won't fit like a 59 Cadillac. That's where we're going to draw the line.
Yeah, because it's over 20 feet, right?
Yeah, the trailer is 20 feet long.
I think a 59 is 25.
It's 27 feet.
Yeah. Might not fit like a brass era car, like your big Duesenberg might not fit in it, but
right,
like a Model T or something.
I'm not shipping a Duesenberg. I'm going to call it right out there. There's too much. I'm not shipping a Duesenberg. Maybe someday if I have a much fancier trailer.
Hey, you might have somebody here that needs to get their car all the way to the Concourse Week, Car Week.
Oh, Car Week, the
Monterey car. Yeah.
Hey, I'm down. Just make it a smaller car.
There's a lot of cars. There's a lot of people out here with very, very nice cars that like to go to the Monterey Car Week.
The Concourse out here too. So.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Have an excellent week. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
And keep your cars analog.